Welcome back to Introduction to JavaScript on Codecademy. This is data types. Data types are the classifications we give to the different kinds of data that we use in programming. In JavaScript, there are 7 fundamental data types. There are number, any number including numbers with decimals. So 4, 8, 1516, 23.42, those are all numbers. And then there's strings. Any grouping of characters on your keyboard, letters, numbers, spaces, symbols, surrounded by single quotes or double quotes. Though we prefer single quotes, some people like to think of a string as a fancy word for text. Boolean. This data type only has 2 possible values, either true or false, without quotes. It's helpful to think of Booleans as on and off switches, or as the answers to a yes or no question. We have null. This data type represents the intentional absence of a value and is represented by the keyword null without quotes. Undefined. This data type is denoted by the keyword undefined without quotes. It also represents the absence of a value, though it has a different use than null. Symbol. A newer feature to the language, symbols are unique identifiers, useful in more complex coding. No need to worry about these now. Object. Collections of related data. The first 6 of those types are considered primitive data types. They are the most basic data types in the language. Objects are more complex, and you'll learn much more about them as you progress through JavaScript. At first, 7 types may not seem like that many, but soon you'll observe the world opens with possibilities once you start leveraging each one. As you learn more about objects, you'll be able to create complex collections of data. But before we do that, let's get comfortable with strings and numbers. Here we have a console log, and it's the string location of Codecademy headquarters, 575 Broadway, New York City. Then we have console log, and the number 40. In the example above, we first printed a string. Our string isn't just a single word, it includes both capital and lowercase letters, spaces, and punctuation. Next, we printed the number 40. Notice we did not use quotes. Our instructions. On line 1, log the string JavaScript to the console. So here, we come over here, and they just want us to use our console.log, and we're doing JavaScript. And then we end it with the semicolon, and we should be able to run this now, and it should print JavaScript to the console. And it did. But it says make sure you're using JavaScript and not JavaScript. Oh, they want the S capital. Okay, so we have JavaScript, run it again. That time we did pass. Second, it says on line 2, log the number 2011 to the console. So console log, and we're doing 2011, and let's run this one. We passed that. And then on line 3, print woohoo, I love to code, hashtag Codecademy to the console. So go back on here, console log, and quotes, and we're doing woohoo, exclamation. I'm not sure if that's 2 spaces. Let's do it though. I love to code, exclamation, and then hashtag Codecademy. And then end it with the semicolon. Run. Did you use console log to print woohoo, I love to code? Make it easier, I'm just going to copy this because I'm not sure if I'm did too many spaces or what exactly I might have done too much of. So just to make sure I do exactly what they want, I'm going to Control V. And let's try that one more time. Run it. We did pass. And again, the first line and third line are strings. And we know this because they are in quotes. It's basically treated as text. Versus the number, it's a different data type. That is the number data type. And they are different. So line 4, print the number 20.49 to the console. So now they're giving us another number, and it is a decimal, but it's still treated as a number since there are no quotes around it. So 2049, end it with the semicolon, run it, and we passed it. So the important concepts to take away from here are strings and numbers. We did go over at least all the data types. Booleans are true and false. Null and undefined is intentional absence of a value. Well, null says is intentional absence of value. Undefined also represents absence of a value, but it's different use than null. Again, we'll go more into these. Symbol is also pretty new to me. I have heard it, and I'm kind of excited to see what more I learn about it through the next lessons that we do. Objects are collections of data, so we'll learn more about these in the next lessons. This one hyper focused on strings and numbers. Strings again are in quotes and basically can be seen or thought of as text. You can throw numbers inside of a string and it's still string as long as it's within the quotes. Numbers, it's just a number, no quotes. If you guys are getting that, you guys are getting these lessons, make sure to check out the cheat sheets and reviews or check out the forums. If you have questions, you could also comment down below and I'll make sure to help in any way I can. Now see you guys in the next lesson.